Hey guys, welcome back to the Network Podcast, and today we got some crazy viral news. Studio Rent, Rap Cap, DJ Akademiks, Jim Jones, Maino, the Rap About It podcast. This shit's about to be a good episode. It's your guy Stackpack, media guy, Pack General, and we're back on the Network Podcast. And today I'm with my brother Peace, a.k.a. Dior. And we're back with another one to shake the culture. Today, we're talking about that music industry smoke. There's a viral clip going crazy right now with DJ Akademiks clowning Jim Jones, Fabolous, and Maino, saying they couldn't afford their studio rent. Oh, man. Let that breathe. Studio rent, not tour money, not label disputes, not screaming royalties. They're talking about motherfucking rent. This is about to get crazy. We'll be coming in very shortly. Let's go.
Drive at $1.60 feels like you soaring in the sky, blowing money on the liquor. We at the strip joint, blowing money on the bitches.
It's gender wars, baby.
Throwing money like a pitcher, but nigga, I ain't slipping. Got a fully loaded trigger, and that can cause a heat wave. I mean, you digging you a deep grave. Niggas trump your ass, haven't missing you for 3 days. Cam said that this nigga's a sucker, and that mean that this nigga's a sucker. You heard that? I'm the weatherman with that money, I make it rain on them.
Y'all know what it is. Welcome back to the Network Podcast.
For money, I pour champagne on them. I make it rain on them. Just let it rain on them. Weatherman with that money, I make it rain on them. Weatherman with that paper, I pour the range on them. 20 grand for money, I pour champagne.
Welcome back to the network. Y'all know it's gonna get crazy, right? Like insanely crazy on the network. Every time we got a viral clip, every time we got something to talk about, the shit actually goes insane. So there's a viral clip with, Akademiks popping his shit about Maino, talking his shit, and talking about Jim Jones, talking about what 50 was saying. I kind of want to get into these clips and see what Akademiks was saying, and then my brother Dior, he's actually stepping into the studio any moment. Let's go over these clips, man.
You guys are 50 years old getting evicted. That's disgusting and sad. You guys have all had supposedly prosperous careers in whatever you've done. To get evicted at 50 years old is fucking pathetic. Fab, you rapped for 30 years. If you can't pay your fucking rent, that's disgusting. Jim Jones, you gangbanged and did a whole bunch of bullshit for like 50 years. If you can't pay your rent, that's disgusting. Maino, you done robbed the entire Brooklyn niggas and pulled out guns on them. If you didn't rob enough money to pay your fucking rent, that's disgusting. I'm sorry to tell y'all, man. Kicking in doors at 50 years old is just not the wave. And maybe I got to be the pussy civilian to kind of like, bring the youth that's watching y'all, because y'all previously says y'all were bodega boys, lobby boys, now podcast boys, or as 50 calls y'all squatters. I'll lead the audience y'all are trying to appeal to. Hey, YNs of the world, never be this. When you're 50, you should be kicked back, feet up, living a luxurious life with bitches galore, kids that you're taking care of, and many things to show. Not being kicking down a door to get in to start gossiping.
Wow. So Akademiks he kind of just called them out and just basically just said what it was at the end of the day. I said, damn, Akademiks, you went all the way in with that. He told them motherfuckers what it was, what he was going to do, and everything, right? So when it comes to this clip, when it comes to these viral reactions, I'm watching the clip right here, and Akademiks is basically saying these dudes were in a situation where the studio bill wasn't getting handled. Now, hold on. We're talking about Jim Jones, Harlem Legacy, Fabolous, Punchline King. Maino, he got that Brooklyn energy. But these ain't SoundCloud rappers. These are established names. So the question becomes, is this cap? Is this industry politics? Or is this just another uncomfortable truth about these rap finances? I got my brother Dior in the studio with me today. Dior, how you feel about this clip, man, that went viral, brother? Welcome to the studio.
What's happening, bro? I think that this clip was long awaited, man. I think for so long we have been seeing women on social media platforms speaking ill about men, and we see men responding so fast. Man, I'm even guilty of at times responding so fast to these women, telling them, man, y'all know what y'all talking about. But when we see something like this, and it's just, we got to start calling a spade, man, because Jim Jones is a rapper, you know? So to my knowledge, rappers don't go through things like that, kicking people's doors in and being evicted. So I don't know, man. I think it's a good time for us to address something that we just treat it like the elephant in the room, you know?
Exactly, Dior. Now, let's be real for a second. I've got my brother Peace with me. Thanks for coming up to the show. But this music industry is just smoke and mirrors. You see chains, you see cars, you see champagne in the section. But what you don't see is publishing splits, right, Dior? Label advances that are really loans, overhead costs, studio lockout fees, management percentages, them damn lawyers, producers, engineers. And that's that millionaire lifestyle, but sometimes that's leverage. That's not liquidity. And I'm not saying that broke. I'm just saying that cash flow and image are two different things. How you feel about that, brother Dior?
Man, I think you're right. I think you're right, man. And honestly, it's sad. Like, not to be that guy, but if you think about what rap has been to us and the way that we treated rappers since the 90s, the way that it's kind of been a lore of violence and people being afraid of them, Suge Knight, everything of that nature. And now to see how rappers will literally beg to get on the streamer's platform while streamers are basically saying out loud, we make way more money than rappers. And it's nasty, brother. But once again, I think it's a good time for us to address elephants in the room. That's what I think is going on today.
That's a fact. Thank you for that, Dior. And then also I want to talk about, but here's what makes this messiest too, Dior, is when you're a rapper and you built your brand on status, power, boss talk, and somebody says you couldn't pay rent, that shit hit different, Dior. You feel me? That's ego, that's reputation, that's Harlem pride, that's Brooklyn pride. And Akademiks, he knows exactly what that nigga's doing. He understands the viral moments, he understands the narrative control, and he's not just reporting, he's poking at them niggas too. Like you saying, Dior, it's the elephant in the room, and I feel like he's poking it and addressing that shit, man. How you feel?
I absolutely agree. I think it's even more funny that Akademiks is a man that is successful when he's never been a thug. He's never shot a gun. He's never been a guy that tries to be violent. So the fact that he's in this rap community and made his money from Warz, Rock, and everything else that he's done since then, I think it's a beautiful ironic joke, you know, the fact that the guy that's the geek that's not willing to fight is the guy that has way more than the rappers that we grew up to. Some people grew up to Fab. Like, a lot of people watch these men's lives their whole life. So to see a man like Akademiks has so much more than them, and I think it's a messed up thing in a sense, because I think it's terrible for anyone to be evicted. That's a terrible moment. But I also do understand the irony of how, as rappers, where we got bravado, we talk as if everything is great. So this is something that nobody expects, and I believe that in the world of freedom of speech, we can speak about anything that's public, you know?
That's a fact, Dior. And I want to ask y'all this. Why do you think, why do we clown financial struggles in hip hop? If a tech startup misses payroll, it's a market fatality. If a rapper misses studio rent, Dior, he fell off. Why? Because rap culture ties masculinity to money. We don't allow vulnerability in the space. And that's the real conversation. How you feel about that, Dior? Let's get into that, man. Because I feel like, you know, all this shit is different for a tech company, man. They ain't clowning the tech companies that's missing shit, man. When it comes to us, it seems like, man, fuck us, man. Them black motherfuckers don't know how to keep up with shit. How you feel about that?
Man, I think all you kind of bring me to the thought of is the stigma of black-owned business. And I say this in respect. I hope I don't offend anybody when I say this. But as much as we might get pros from slapping back black-owned on our business, there's also some cons that come with it. You know? So my thing about it is, if I can give advice to anybody, man, step your way and do great business and expect that people are going to do business with you because you're actually doing great business, rather than, you know, like, and it's sad that it's like this, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Nah, that's a fact, Dior. Now, if it's true, then we got to have another conversation, Dior. Financial literacy in hip hop, right? Because too many artists get advances, spend like it's profit, don't understand the recoupment, and don't even own their own masters, Dior. Because I know you're in the music industry, so you know. And then when the screams slow down, reality knocks hard at their door. How you feel about that, Dior?
I mean, that's another thing that, as I said, I hate to start my sentences expressing how it makes me sad, because that's not it, but it does. But to be 100 with you, I was able to see a lot of artists start from somewhere, from the Pop Smokes, from the Bobbies. Like I started really around the time Bobby and Rowdy got right. So seeing them, the Fabio Foreigns, and seeing how the day one, everything feels great and you think everything is right, and then on that day that comes where business is now important. And we recognize everything that was signed and the way it was signed and the way that it was worded. And it's always a fucked up thing, man. So I think what you're saying is actually something beautiful. I would be 100% behind that. I think more of our men need to recognize the business, because it's not just about rap. It's not just about clout. And it's not just about going to the studio. It's truly about understanding what is in these contracts and what your goal truly is. So I think that that's dope, man. If you are going to do that, I'm 100% in support.
That's a fact. Now, y'all already know what it is. It's the Gender War Audio's podcast with the network. My brother Dior done came through today. We're breaking the culture down, and we're doing it different over here. Drop it in the comments. Is Akademiks exposing the truth, or is he just stirring the pot for clicks? Let's get into it, Pat Gang. I appreciate you. Dior, is any more final words before we close out this segment, my brother?
All I want to say is protect yourself. Protect yourself. That's to the man and to the woman. And to be direct to my black people, protect yourself and love yourself. I love my black women. And I also want y'all to know, protecting yourself should mean more than trying to find love or allowing people to do you wrong. And I hope that's not taken the wrong way. That's all.
Appreciate
Peace
you, my
and
brother.
blessings, y'all. Gender War.